That Hitchcock aesthetic and his sort of study of place and the Bay Area is fairly unique in film. I wanted to not only revisit that, but to put a black family in the center of it. I think I often ask myself, what if Hitchcock worked with black actors? Those are my favorite movies that have never been made. So that's kind of what I'm here to do. And there are thematic motif connections to Vertigo and the Birds as well. I think Vertigo is one of the great doppelganger stories in its surface. You know, The Birds is, you know, probably the greatest invasion movie of all time. The main characters find themselves, you know, under siege, and it's this bit of an event film that is just strangely grounded. So yes, those are very important ones. I would hold my hands up. I would say, you look smashing this evening, my friend. Yeah, I would probably say, you want to have a beer? I know you like beer, but you know, in this film, of course, the doppelgangers that I explore are not, you know, they're scary from the get-go. You know that they look like my family, but they also don't. They come from a different place. So in that instance, you know, if I saw the tethered version of me walk in with a red jumpsuit, I would have to find a weapon. One of my favorite tropes in horror movies is the improvised weapon and the found object. So, you know, right now I see a glass bottle of Avion. So I'd probably grab that, and I'd be the guy walking around the post-apocalypse with an Avion bottle. First time I was scared in the cinema, you know, most of the horror movies I saw, as a child, it would have been because I wasn't supposed to watch them. I watched them at a sleepover or something. There was a scene at the end of Supergirl where one of the villains, like, gets trapped by this computer, and all these, like, metal things come on her, and she turns into this sort of monster, you know, computer god woman who can, like, do, and she's screaming and as the things come on her, and it got me in some kind of unnatural place, that this transformation through torture. But man, I can still access that time when that was the highest sci-fi horror moment I had ever seen. It really got me. Movies for kids back in the 80s, they went a little scarier. You know, there's always a scene that wasn't quite okay. You know, it's like E.T. lying in the river, like with the raccoons eating him. Like, that doesn't get by today. You can't do that to us. You can't, like, introduce us to, like, the new, you know, our new best friend, and then we see him sick in the river. I think there was something really good about, you know, exploring darkness, you know, in kids' material. I think it yes, did it traumatize? Yes, but it also gave me some context as a kid that, you know, sometimes bad things happen, and that's part of what story was teaching us. I had 300 VHSs, so every day after high school, I would go, you know, the $20 that I had sort of saved up in the week, and I would buy a new piece of the collections. The Nightmare on Elm Street cover, that scared me. Beautiful, beautiful art. This is like this sort of esoteric, you know, Freddy claw over Heather Langenkamp's face. I remember far before I saw the movie, that haunted me. And that kind of tends to be how it happens. Like, you get a little taste, and your imagination goes crazy. It was kind of my sanctuary. By the time I was a teenager, and you're in those awkward years of high school, I would leave school and go straight to a movie theater and watch, like, Interview with a Vampire, like 5-6 times at the Ziegfeld Theater, just alone. It's hard to say exactly what it did, but it coincided with that time that, you know, I think you sort of needed to escape and go within.